Randall, thank you for the laughs. Rest in peace. I'm Rich Ackerman.
Going back to last hour, we were talking off the air, and I said to the team, that may have been as difficult an hour as we've ever had on the program. Now, there have been some really, really tough hours on the program, certainly. That's right up there near the top. That was as challenging an hour, and I'm not saying this is going to get any better anytime soon. That was a really difficult hour. An hour filled with so much love and so much sadness. And I think that all of us in the Jungle family are still in shock. If you're joining us late, we talked in hour number 1 about the passing of Randall. Randall WFI in the OC. Randall was a famous listener, a famous clone. And there were so many things to love about Randall. The thing that I loved about Randall, he had an enormous heart. A good heart. He came from an amazing place. He had such great energy. He had such great enthusiasm. He had such great love. Love for the program, love for the Jungle community, love for the JTP, love for me personally. But it was never about Randall. Randall always made it about everybody else. It was never about him. This email says, Rome, as soon as you read the news, I audibly asked, what? Randall was part of the vernacular of the show. This absolutely sucks. My thoughts out to his family. Nick in the land of Norsemen. Rome, I'm not on Twitter as much as I wish I was. However, every time I logged on, I would see a post from Randall that made me die. Then during the football season, I would get notifications on Periscope about Randall going live, usually during halftime of a Broncos game, to do a chug. The guy's laugh was infectious. You could tell he loved life and loved the show. He reached out to me a couple of times via DM to compliment me on a funny email. Having never gotten the opportunity to meet in real life, you could tell he was the type of dude to take his shirt off his back and give it to you in the time of need. We will miss Randall. The Jungle is going to miss a legend. Matt in Poland Springs. This reads, I was lucky to meet Randall on my Cali trip. He was an absolute trip. Dude was running around the bar, talking to and trying to hook me up with any girl he could see. It was hysterical. I'm willing to make a video with all the pictures and videos that the clones have of him. Send me a DM on Twitter, clones. R.I.P. Randall. Signed, Kyle in Green Bay. Matt in Vancouver is in. Rome. A few years back, Randall sent me a nice big bag of tree from the OC to Vegas for me, for free, for no other reason other than he was that good of a dude. We had no relationship other than a few friendly DMs, and this was before I ever tasted a smack off. He was the best guy in the Jungle. And frankly, this sucks. Rest easy, my friend. Matt in Vancouver. How many folks have said that Randall would just reach out? Randall would just reach out via DM and say, hey, great job, great email, great call, great tweet, good story. Nice to meet you, brother. I'm Randall. Like I said, Randall was about everything but Randall. Randall was about everything but Randall. And the statement that Rich Flores read from Crystal was absolutely amazing. It was so moving and so amazing. Dear Jim, in an age of anonymous Twitter trolls, Randall was an open book, both online and in person. I've hung out with him a few times, usually at the track. He was equal parts hilarious and kind. Such a great guy. I wish I'd been there. I mentioned that day at the track where I was at the manager's meeting for O'Reilly Auto Parts, and it was a huge day for Jungle Racing and Team Shared Belief when we went up against California Chrome. I wasn't there, but my family was there. James Kelly was there. James Kelly said to me, dude, you should have seen it. Randall was taking on all the Chromies by himself. So great. No fear. James Kelly saw it. He said he went up against that entire Purple Nation by himself. I would have given anything to see that. Hey, Jim, I'm having trouble listening today. I have an office job. Jim, you have created this crazy monster called the JTP. This is from 12wood, actually, this email. The JTP, for those of you who don't know, is the Jungle Twitter posse. Adam, really quickly, let me get you in here. For those who do not know, how would you describe and define what the JTP is?
It is the most engaged and probably hardcore listening base to the show. Every single day they are on Twitter around the same time, 9 to noon Pacific, noon to 3 Eastern, talking about the show, and they have found each other through the show, and they have formed really deep friendships, and they're in just constant communication with each other, and they talk after hours, and they have after shows, and they follow each other's periscopes, and they are like a family for sure. So I would describe the JTP as kind of they're the show within the show that you talk about, and they're definitely a family, and they're here every single day from 9 to noon. They know as much about the show as all of us do.
Well said. Thanks for sharing that. That helps. So when people keep talking about the JTP, that's what they're talking about, the Jungle Twitter Posse. And this is from 12 Wood. Hey, Jim, I'm having trouble listening today. I have an office job. You've created this crazy monster called the JTP. On Twitter, we spend 24/7 bashing each other. The secret side of this JTP is that we spend so much time smacking on each other that we have all become good friends. Some of these clones are closer to me than my own siblings. I'm battling, writing this now. We lost the best of them yesterday. Randall was the greatest of clone brothers. This is tough. War you, war the clones, war Randall. This is really tough. Really hard. And I think that anybody who knew Randall and knew how much the show meant to him and how much the clones and the clone family meant to him is struggling today. This is a family. It's a community. There's a culture. When I talk to these coaches and these athletes and I talk about what kind of a culture are you looking to instill, the Jungle has a culture. And it always has. Going back to when I started the program, there was always a rabid following. See, the fact of the matter is, when I started doing this show, it became very clear to me. It was very black and white. Either you were going to like this show a whole lot or you were going to not like this show at all. But there became a culture to the program. And not one of those, it's an inside show. I'm talking about a culture to the program. Those who listened, and then those who participated, and those who interacted, and as social media blew up, it got deeper and deeper and deeper and more deeply ingrained. And we lost one of our own, one of our best. Jim, I've been listening since 2000. Rich Flores brought me to tears today, speaking about a man that I've never met, but that I know through your show. Crying like a baby while making sales calls because of the good Randall brought to this world. Thanks for allowing us a moment to grieve as one Jungle family for Randall and his family. Signed, Judson in Charleston, South Carolina. And Randall's getting love from all over the country, all over the nation. Dear Rome, Randall was larger than life. I met him at Santa Anita. I had no clue who he was, and he was one of the coolest guys I've ever met. He was so nice to my fiance and I. It was like we'd known him forever. He bought us each of those carving board sandwiches. Stand-up guy. R.I.P. Randall, David Glendale. When somebody passes, obviously positive things and nice things are always said. Randall, these stories, it's almost like he's too good to be true. Randall, welcome to everybody, everywhere. He's buying people sandwiches, putting an arm around everybody. Randall truly was an amazing ambassador for the program. Such a good guy. One of the best guys. We're taking telephone calls and people are sharing their thoughts about Randall. If you're joining us just now, Randall, wait for it, in the OC, tragically passed yesterday. And we've been celebrating him and his life and his contributions to the program and the Jungle family. Let's go to Hollywood. Mark in Hollywood. Hey, Mark.
Hey, bro. Yeah, it's a really tough day. I'd just like to share a little anecdote. When I first met Randall, it was at the old school Big Wang's smack-off party. And I know a lot of clones did smack-off parties and different listen parties before, but to my knowledge, it was kind of one of the first things for the smack-off. And it was weird, man. Like, first of all, when I rolled up in Big Wangs, everyone was really quiet. You know, it wasn't a lot of talk. It was kind of the first thing that, you know, people have ever done. And it's early in the morning, and I see this dude in the corner, and he's just talking loud, like he's the only one that we can hear. And I go to my boy Rich and Greg in Sun Valley. I'm like, who the hell is that guy? And it's like, that's Randall. I'm like, who's Randall? He's like, wait for it. I'm like, if that's Randall, are you kidding me? And you know, it's funny because when you meet people and they're funny emails, you think everyone's like a kid in a way. That you never expect people to look as old as they are or just look like they are. And he's this grown-ass man, and he goes, Mark in Hollywood, what's up? I've been here since 8:30. I tried to get Big Wangs to open the bar early. They thought I was nuts. And he just rattles and off and off and off. And that whole day was dope. You know, we all went out to the bar afterwards. We got lit. And ever since then, you know, when we did Del Mar, he was the same way. He was just such a good dude. And everyone's right. He emails, he texts, he always says good call. He is just a beacon of, like, positivity in what some people on the outside may perceive as a negative or snarky or sarcastic fan base. 12 Wood is right. It's not like that at all. And Randall is a personification of the positivity that the jungle brings. So I just wanted to share my little anecdote. I'm broken up like everyone else, but Randall, R.I.P. to you, your family, and I'm out.
Glad you did, Mark. Thanks so much. It's Mark in Hollywood. 1-800-636-8686. And again, some of my favorite Randall moments. I mean, again, he was always so happy, so upbeat, so positive, so enthusiastic. But him shouting out to Logan, Logan, Rat Family, the family, Logs. Tell your old man to bring back the family, the Rat Family, Logs. And Logan was looking at me, you know, as a youngster, like, Dad. Like, wow, Dad, what's going on? I'm like, that's Randall, Logs. That's Randall, W-F-I, in the OC. And Logan was just speechless. He had never seen or heard anything like that before. In a good way. He was kind of awed by the whole thing. And then, you see, the kids don't listen to the show. But they knew Randall. So he would come up. Logan would say to me at dinner sometimes, hey, Pops, what's up with Randall? How's Randall? Is Randall called? Have you seen Randall? What's Randall up to? Like, Randall may be the only real clone that Logan had a real, you know, concern with. Because, again, they don't listen to the program. They go to school, my boys. And when they're not at school and they're doing what they do and they consume the content they consume, they're not listening to me. They had seen Randall in person at the track, so they got to look at him up close. So that always made me laugh, too, when Logan would be like, hey, Dad, how's Randall? What's Randall up to? Tell him I said, what's up? 1-800-636-8686. So I'm still getting your thoughts on Randall. In case you missed it, Randall, W-F-I in the OC, tragically passed yesterday, and we've been talking about Randall all show long, sharing our thoughts and our stories about Randall. Dear Rome, as somebody who rarely, if ever, contributes to the show, but follows closely on Twitter and elsewhere, I first thought Randall was a bit weird or odd. Over the past 2 years or so, I would follow along with the JTP on Twitter, and it changed my view 100%. I never saw a picture of that guy not smiling. It just seemed like a genuine person and a connector of people. It's a huge loss for every part of the Jungle family. We will miss the laughs and the positive energy. Thanks. Jeff in Seatown. Rome, I did not know Randall, but as a longtime clone, I am very familiar with his contributions to the show. It's good to see the Clone Nation come together to remember Randall in such a positive way. Hopefully one day in the not-too-distant future, his wife and maybe his daughter will be able to read through the long list of tweets that are being sent and smile at how highly regarded and loved he was by a group of folks, most of whom never even met him. Rest in peace, Randall. You'll be missed. Dan in Richmond. Rome, I can't say anything else about Randall that hasn't already been said, but the fact that I'm this sad and quite frankly pissed about the passing of somebody I never even met says a lot. There are so many things about this show that make me laugh, but you yelling, "No!" back and forth with Randall's "Yeah!" cracked me up every freaking time. Rest in peace, Randall. The jungle lost a legend. Lee in Vancouver. Let me go back and finish a call that I started that I couldn't finish because Dave Roberts came on. Matt in L.A. I had to cut off, but I bring him back right now. Sorry about that, Matt. Good to have you back.
Romy, from the OC to the pearly gates of paradise, I want to thank you, Randall, because he was, like you say, Romy, I mean, you've put together a community, and there's some real jewels in this community, man. Randall was at the top of the list. I mean, I got to meet this guy for 2 hours of my life, and I feel blessed for it. Like you say, he was just a connector of people. I mean, Silk Bra and this guy were like two of a kind. I mean, these guys were are so genuine in Silk's case, and Randall, rest in peace. But I mean, what I've noticed is like from the whole Clone Nation, and this is a tribute to you, Jim Rome, of the jungle. I mean, everybody shows a genuine love, man. We might smack each other on the radio waves or on Twitter, but when we get together, man, the few times that I've been together with clones and met up with them, they're real fools, real people. I say fools because I'm from the street. Real people, man, that are real men, real women, that are just genuine people that got nothing but love for the jungle, for you, and for everybody they encounter. And that's all I wanted to say, Jim. Rack Randall, man. Decca, yeah. Yeah!
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you. Appreciate your thoughts. Got Josh Donaldson coming up next segment. Dana White a little bit later on. Adam Hawk brings in a couple of emails quickly. Vic in NoCal wants to weigh in. Rome. Condolences to Randall's family. I got to meet Randall twice. First at Del Mar in 2016, the day of his now legendary "Yeah" soundbite. It was an early gathering since we all arrived at about 8 a.m. ahead of the day's show. So we were all still in AM mode, but Randall took it upon himself to personally make sure that everybody was adequately, lubricated with beverages so we could be all that we can be. More recently, I hung out with him at Hennessy's in Dana Point just a mere 5 weeks ago. We talked about catching the Bears and the Broncos in week 3. Dude must have hugged me and kissed me on the cheek at least 5 times during that get-together. And I wasn't the only one that he was doing it to either. A fun-loving, friendly guy, full of life and upbeat energy. We won't forget him. Victor, wait for it, by Broadway. And one more quickly, Blaze is in. Jim, back in the early days of the show, one of the things that appealed to me was the fact that you said the name of the person who sent emails. It may seem like a minor thing, but other shows weren't doing that. In fact, many still don't. The host will say, "Got an email here," but you read the names, and because of that, emailers develop personalities, and you felt like you knew the people. I spent every day listening, firing off emails, and laughing at emails other people sent. Laughing in my cube because of guys like Randall. The show was, and is, like a club. It's one of the things that has set it apart from the beginning. So when someone like Randall passes away, it's felt by the rest of us. Randall, if you're listening, you made me laugh my ass off in my cube. Rest in peace, brother. Blaze. All right, when we come back, Josh Donaldson and then Dana White are scheduled. If you want, you can continue to tweet and email the program. Thinking about Randall today and his family and everybody who loved him. Stay tuned. Josh Donaldson of the Braves is next.
You're listening to The Jim Rome Show.
go to Lake Elsinore quickly. John in Lake Elsinore. Hi, John. How are you?
How you doing, Jim?
Good, good. John, how are you?
Doing okay. Hanging in there. Trying to do the best with this whole situation.
John, you told Adam, you're Randall's brother. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm very sorry for your loss, John. I don't know if you've been listening today, but you could tell how much your brother meant to the entire jungle community, the jungle family. I hope you've heard some of this, if at all possible. There is so much love for Randall.
Yes, I recorded the whole show, Jim. I mean, just overwhelmed with the calls and the love for him. And it was very hard. I mean, I cried so much today. It was very hard listening to it all. But it was great to listen to it all. And I know my brother's smiling down. I mean, he was, like, you guys all loved him, and he loved you guys back. And he has so many friends. He has so many, everybody can see that when he at the get-togethers. I've been actually, I've gone to like a couple of them, but he's gone to so many of them. Was it Big Wags, I think, was one of them that I went to with him once. And you guys know his personality and the way he is. He lives for today, and he lived it up. And he had a big heart, though. There's another part that people don't know about my brother, though. I mean, a lot of you, they mentioned his daughter and his wife Crystal, but he had a big heart for his daughter. I mean, that's what breaks my heart the most. And she's 7 years old, and it's going to be hard. But as a family, we'll get through this. And we just lost our father a couple of months ago too. I don't know if Adam brought that up, but it's been a tough year for the Majuli family, Randall. So, but we're going to get through this. But I just want to say thank you to you, Jim, for what you've done for him today on the show, and it was beautiful hearing everything and what everybody contributed.
John, I am really, really sorry for your loss and your family's loss, John. But the jungle is here, as you know. The jungle loved your brother very much, loves your brother very much, and the jungle certainly is here for you as a community and a family. So thank you very much. I'm really sorry for your loss, John, and Crystal and Bella. Jungle thoughts to Randall and his family. And we will see you right back here tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.
Stop calling me, and I bought a new car so he'd stop following me. Heck, I even bought a new house so Rome would stop dropping by unannounced. So, Left, could you do me a favor and give Jim this message? Would you tell Jim to stop sending his fan base out to stalk me? Oh, so you think this is funny? Yeah!